I mean, it's a long season.
Speaking of injuries, this is a good segue to one of our topic, this subtopics we want to talk about is Anthony Davis' injury. So apparently he has an MCL injury. He's going to be out for at least 4 weeks with that MCL sprain.
Crazy.
So now, what do the Lakers do now in terms of how they want to execute their rotations and chemistry and how that's going to work?
That's a good question.
Yeah, and then after that, the worst part about it is once Anthony Davis heals up from that MCL, they have to implement him back into the roster, and now they got to make sure the chemistry good again with him in the rotation. So on top of that, I also heard some like issues where like Russell Westbrook might be traded, but those are rumors and stuff like that. We don't fully know what's going on, but I'm pretty sure LeBron James sees the roster better than both of us because he's in the locker room. Yeah. So I don't know what he wants to do now because if Anthony Davis is hurt and you're thinking about trying to trade Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, Genie Bus, that front office is not looking to make that trade anymore.
Rob Pelinka,
they are not looking to make that trade anymore. Why? Because you're talking about losing AD. Now, if you're talking about losing AD, then to say, let me trade Russ for obviously somebody who will be able to step in. I mean, listen, it's still early in the season. We're still early, not even at the halfway point. So let me get AD back after that 4-6 weeks and see where we go. Now, trade deadline won't be here by then. Yeah, till like I think maybe mid-February, somewhat after a little bit after the All-Star break. But you're talking about not really having to be in panic mode because AD is down. But it's still one of those things to think about. All right, whether AD is here or not here, who steps up in his absence? If AD is here and let's say, all right, cool, he needs to take some, he need a rest through the game. I mean, bench him for a little bit, not necessarily bench, but like have him sit out for a little bit.
It still feel like he was playing. It still feel like he was playing hurt to some degree.
Of course,
they say he has some ankle issues, but it's like if he had some ankle issues, why he didn't sit out in the beginning? But I feel like the reason he didn't want to sit out because the Lakers are already struggling to be sub 500.
Correct.
So
he had no choice but to play. It was one of those things. I was forced to play because our team is struggling, and if I am one of the cornerstones of this team, then I got to be in there. I have to be playing day in and day out, and my body, anybody's body, is not really geared up for that, especially with how the league, NBA is, like I said, you got some nights where it's back-to-back games, or if it's not even back-to-back, you're talking about, all right, I'm playing on Monday in LA, but then Monday night, I got to fly all the way to New York for a game Wednesday. I got that 1 day rest, but it's the actual rest. You're talking about two different time zones. Different time zones.
Basically traveling.
Exactly. That's that in itself, can take a toll on you. So
East Coast, West Coast travels.
That's ugly. So, like I said, for somebody to have to, body wise, deal with that, like I said, still be playing, 40 minutes a game, it's gonna be tough. But like I said, you're talking about one guy, AD, who is supposed to be the cornerstone for that team, not going to be there for 4 to 6 weeks. It's gonna be tough for them, and not knowing who is going to step in for him is gonna be tough.
But come on, though, we expect that from like Anthony Davis. Like we always assume like he's gonna get hurt sometime into the season. I didn't think it was gonna be this early,
yeah.
But we all expect that he was gonna get hurt this season. But we don't wish that on him, but it's just like a foregone conclusion based off his previous injury history. It just shows he's possibly gonna get hurt sometime into the season. Now, if you could rest him to some degree where you could potentially avoid the injury, then that's what's best. But so far, what his injury history says, he's going to get hurt sometime into the season.
Yeah.
But what they could do now is try to rest him as much as they can and then try to be above 500, just be in the playoff picture. So that way they could make a little run while just staying in at least the 5th or 4th seed. I guess that shouldn't be a lot for the Lakers with two All-Stars on their team, but this is where the Lakers are right now. So that's just crazy going on right now. But when I saw the highlight play of the Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, on the play that he got hurt. He got hurt because I think he was trying to set a screen for LeBron James, and LeBron James threw the pushed the man, and then he kind of caved into his knee, and that's how he tore his MCL. So it's just an unfortunate situation.
That's definitely an unfortunate situation. And I mean, it's the way all sports go. You're looking to obviously make plays, play hard for your team, but then something like a freak accident like that happens, and now not only are you down a man, you're down a key man, and that's just like how do you once again, how do you start moving forward without somebody as important as AD? Hell, when LeBron went down, I know they were scrambling like, dang, how long we not gonna have LeBron?
Exactly.
Dang, who do we put in to take on that load for LeBron? Because it's not like we just used him for scoring. We had him actually running the offense.
He was basically the point guard.
Definitely was the point guard. I mean, I understand. Yeah, Russ is labeled as the point guard, but honestly, truthfully speaking, we all know who the point guard is for that team. So
especially in the fourth quarter when it's like important decisions about to be made. LeBron James is the point guard. He makes the right decision.
Exactly.
He makes a smart decision. He doesn't turn over the ball. He doesn't make stupid mistakes, and he's gonna make the right decision to carry his team to a W.
Exactly. So I'm looking at it right now. They actually are above 500. They're 16-14. Surprisingly, they are number 6 in the West. So right now, as it stands, they are in good standings. Now, here's the question once again: with AD being out, how far do they fall? If they fall, how far up can they go without him being, in the lineup? That's one of those things. I mean, just looking at everybody that's under them, you got Denver at 7, 15-14. That's an easy, win loss here and there between the two to switch up, and then you got Dallas at 8. I don't think anybody under 8 right now. You know what? Nah, Minnesota surprisingly good. Minnesota is surprisingly good, although they are under 500, but they are surprisingly good. And I can tell you right now, if you give that young man, Anthony Edwards, and that roster an opportunity,
sometimes a gel.
Yo, listen, that boy Anthony Edwards is a beast.
With Cat, D'Lo.
Yo, I think they are going to make a push. Hopefully they can make a push. And if they can, get in that playoffs, it'll be very interesting to some interesting things to see. But I mean, like I said, without AD, how far do they fall? How high can they go up without him on the roster for the 4 to 6 weeks? Because once again, it goes back to who steps in for him.
To be honest, LeBron James will have to step up even more. He's got to play 40+ minutes.
That's a given.
Yeah,
that right there is a given. LeBron is a given, but besides, I mean, if I'm a LA Clippers, if I'm a Memphis Grizzlies, like if I know I'm playing against the Lakers, I'm shutting LeBron down. I'm sending double teams at LeBron all day, every day. Somebody else has to beat me.
I'm letting Westbrook shoot.
I am letting Westbrook. Somebody else has to beat me. Who is that somebody else? Like, if you do not have somebody else on that, once again, they got Melo, so maybe you start putting Melo in at the 3, LeBron at the 4. Listen, I mean, it's something that can work, but once again, how far can they actually go with, that?
To be honest, I don't see their ceiling being too high. I think they're going to stay around 6 or 7 seed. It's just if they start to fall below 7, 8, then they're obviously going to be in the playing tournament, which is not good because now there's going to be extra games that you could play.
Yeah.
And then there's a potential chance that you could lose again, knocked off into playoffs.
And that'd be bad.
Yeah,
that'd be bad. That'd be real
disaster.
bad.
So the trade for Russell Westbrook, while it's on the table and it's enticing, I don't feel like if they were to trade Russell Westbrook, they're not going to get a return on the investment for him. Because
who do they even go after?
That's what I'm saying.
For now, I mean, obviously, the one thing is you want to get a starter. Get a starter, somebody who can fill in, and they don't have to be great at point guard. Hell, once again, you got LeBron running point 85, let's say 85% of the time. And, you just need other people who, hey, listen, give me some space. If I'm LeBron, give me some space.
Give us some shooters.
Right? Exactly. Give me some space, stand outside. And then once I drive, I want to pop it out to you. I'm going to kick it out to you, and I just need you to knock it down.
But here's the trick, though. Westbrook's contract, he's making $41 million. So who's going to eat that?
Nobody's going to eat that. Not in this day and age. Why? Because I don't care. You know what? Some teams probably would eat that up. The problem is not for no Westbrook.
No.
Give me somebody who's not only going to get me my wins, but is going to get me in the playoffs and win me some playoffs games and get me to the finals.
That's not happening.
And that's the problem with Westbrook. He's not the one who can take you to that point.
That's not.
And then it's just, I'm not gonna lie. The Lakers right now is in a state of flux, and
it's a disaster.
Unfortunately,
it's a dumpster fire.
Exactly. Hey, listen. Hopefully they can. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna be excited to see them in the playoffs. I'm just being honest. I'm not a Lakers fan. I will never be a Lakers fan.
Me either.
I'm
just giving
it's just incredible. Why? Because it's LeBron and he's the face of the NBA. So it's like, it's always gonna be hot for topic. So we'll see, man. We'll see on what happens in that world. But good luck.
So the next topic we probably want to talk about is LeBron James' legacy and how this could possibly impact him moving forward.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think LeBron need to just hang it up. Forget all that. He got 3, 4 more.
He retired.
He need to hang it up, bro. It's just like Brady, man. Listen, it's great that you are able to still play the game. It's great. Nobody wants to deny the fact that this 36-year-old man is still able to play as if he's 25. Nobody wants to deny that. But at the end of the day, you're talking about long-term wise, what does that do to your legacy? You're staying on a team. Last year, y'all, made it to the playoffs by the skin of your teeth. Honestly, they did not have the play-in game. You were not going to make it to the playoffs.
Yep.
So because they had play-in game, you made it to the playoffs and made it to the first round and had an early exit. This year, the way your team is looking, honestly, yes, you are above 500 right now, but how long does that last?
Exactly. And if y'all go down below 7 or 8 seed, I got to play the first seed Warriors or second seed Phoenix. Again, losing in 5 games.
Listen, if that, I ain't gonna lie, going to Phoenix.
I don't want to say a sweep off rip.
I ain't gonna lie.
I can see it with the Warriors, but with a healthy AD, a healthy LeBron, and a Russell Westbrook, they should at least. I could possibly, but with the chemistry issues, I could see them losing in 5 games to the Phoenix.
Definite. Phoenix plays tough inside and out. They are gritty. And I'm not talking about just the starting 5. You're talking about the bench. Like, Cameron Payne is a disrespectful young man. Disrespectful. And he does not care. I was watching a highlight, and this was in the playoffs last year. No, I don't think it was playoffs. I think it was just regular season.
Yeah, it was one of the regular season game.
And then what he said to LeBron had to try to check this, and Cameron was like, I really don't care what you're talking about. I don't care who you are. Listen, when the clock is gone, when I'm on the court, I'm playing this game, I don't got no respect for you. Once we are done, then we can talk. Then I can have it. That man had no respect.
Yeah, I was saying.
And I'm like,
LeBron was telling him, you need to be humble.
Exactly. Humble yourself. I'm like, golly, bro. But hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. If I am given a paycheck the same way you are given a paycheck to play this game, I'm gonna play the game. Now, on the other end of that is, if we ain't on the same team, we don't need to be friends. We not being friends at the time in which we are playing against each other. Now, the game is over, then okay, we can talk. We
can talk before the game.
Exactly. We can talk before and after. During, Yo, listen, ain't no parlaying, man. Like, yo, we ain't friends. Why do I need to humble myself? I'm gonna if my team is winning and we are dogging y'all, I'm gonna keep dogging. I'm not gonna, because if if it was the other way around, you would be doing the same exact thing.
LeBron James is gonna be showboating, hot dogging, and doing everything.
Exactly. So why am I going? Listen. So for me, what I'm saying, LeBron, like, yo, at this point, yo, you need to hang it up. If they don't make it to the playoffs, he needs to start thinking on